Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a series of screencasts in which we are going to talk about the basic portfolio revision formula plans. We all know that we are living in a dynamic investment world, and not only our own investment objectives, but the market scenario also around us keeps changing. For example, we get old from young, or our responsibility profile changes. We need to save some money for our children's education. We need to buy that cherished car, or we need to save for a piece of land, or to buy an apartment, or simply to take a vacation. Also, the market conditions keep on changing. The market rises and falls, and this changes the effect of diversification, which will necessitate a relook at our portfolios. In these few episodes, my friends, we are going to consider 4 simple ways of rebalancing our portfolios. They are: number 1, dollar cost averaging; number 2, constant dollar plan; number 3, constant ratio plan; and number 4, variable ratio plan. To keep the screencasts short, we are going to devote one episode per plan. And in this episode, we are going to focus on the first one in the list, that is dollar cost averaging. And before we take up some numbers to see how this plan works, let us put some conceptual facts about dollar cost averaging in place. The first thing that we need to understand about dollar cost averaging is that in this strategy, a fixed dollar amount is invested in a security at fixed time intervals. Dollar cost averaging is a passive buy and hold strategy in which periodic dollar investment, as I said before, is held constant. This means that as the price of the security declines, we buy more securities and vice versa. The motivation behind this strategy, ladies and gentlemen, is pretty simple. The motivation is to have the value of investment grow over time, as we will see when we fill out this little table here. To do so, we assume a few numbers. Let us specify a few things. What we want here, number 1, is to have a $2,000 per month investment, which will remain constant. So each month from January here to June, we want to invest about $2,000 in our portfolio each month. That will mean that we are looking at a total investment of $12,000 over an investment horizon of 6 months. Now in this table, we are given a list of months from January through June, and we are also given the price of the security for each of these months here. Now in the month of January, for example, if we want to invest $2,000, so let me write here $2,000. What I need to do is that at a price of $25 for the security, I need to simply buy 80 securities, so that my total investment in the month of January is $2,000. How did we arrive at 80? We simply divided the $2,000 total investment needed by the security price of $25 per security. Now what is happening in February is that the security price has gone up from $25 to $28. So I'm going to simply divide 2,000 by 28, which is going to give me approximately 71.43 securities, which I need to buy to maintain around $2,000 investment in the month of February also. So what I'm going to get here is, if I multiply 71.43 with 28, what I'm going to get is 2,000 and about 4 more cents. In March, the security price is $28.50 per security. If I divide 2,000 by 28.5, I'm going to get approximately 70.18. So these are the number of securities that I'm going to buy in the month of March, which is going to give me a total dollar investment of $2,000.13. Likewise, we can fill the remaining rows for April, May, and June. So in the month of April, if I divide 2,000 by 27, I'm going to get a 74.07, and this is going to give me an investment of $1,999.89, which is roughly 2,000 again. In the month of May, when the price is $30 per security, I'm going to get 66.67 securities approximately. and that is going to give me $2,000.10. And in the month of June, at the price of $33 per security, I'm going to need 60.61 securities approximately. Well, there can be no 0.61 securities or 0.67 securities, but for the sake of mathematical accuracy, we are considering these digits after the decimal also. So 60.61 multiplied by 33 is going to give me $2,000.13 invested in the month of June. And if I total up all these numbers here, I'm going to find that my total investment over a period of 6 months, I wanted to invest $12,000. So if I add all the items in this column, this is what I should be getting, $12,029. So $12,000.29 I have invested over my investment horizon of 6 months. At the beginning, I mentioned that the basic aim of this strategy is to have the value of investment grow over time. So in summary, let us see if that has happened or not. Let us fill up the key results of our strategy here. So total investment that we have made is this number here, $12,000.29. So I'm going to simply copy this number from here and paste it here. The next thing that I need to note down here is that what is the total number of shares that I have purchased, or total number of securities that I have bought over this period of 6 months. So what I'm going to do for that is simply take a total of this column here. When I do that, I'm going to get 422.96 securities, which will in reality mean 423 securities. The next thing I'm going to write down here for you is the average per share cost or average per security cost, which I'm going to simply derive by dividing this number 12,000.29 by 422.96. When I do that, I'm going to get 28.3722. So this is over a period of 6 months my average cost of buying the securities. Now let us see if the value of the investment has grown over time or not. At the end of 6 months, when I take stock of things, I realize that I have 422.96 securities with me, and in the month of June, which is the latest month, the price per security is $33. So that is going to give me a value of let me see on my calculator, it's going to give me $13,957.68. So what I find is that the value of my investment has steadily grown over this period of 6 months. I have invested $12,000 over this period, and at the end of 6 months my investment value has risen from $12,000 to $13,957.68. So what I wanted to have, I have achieved. What I wanted to do, I wanted to invest no more than $2,000 per month, which I have done. I was looking at an investment horizon of 6 months in which I wanted to invest $12,000. I have succeeded in doing that as well here. And I also wanted the value of my investment to grow over these 6 months, and that also has happened. I have invested $12,000, and I have the value of my portfolio at the end of 6 months is this $13,957.68. That's all, my friends, for this episode. See you next time. Bye bye.